Good evening, Drew.
Hang on. I got problems. Hang on. Hang on. Just hold on. Okay. There we go. All right, come on down. There we go. All right. Tilt this up. Oh shit! How did I? This isn't a bit. Like this is like legit problems. Ugh.
In my head, you're like tangled in cables.
Well, you're not far off. Oh God, this is like the perfect euphemism for my week. All right, just hold on. This is like, God damn it. Okay, so I can't even. You know what? That's going to be it right there. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you just great.
All right, I sound okay because I was pretty pleased with my levels last recording.
You sound pretty good.
Okay, I have a microphone boom arm, and usually when I'm playing video games, I turn the gain a little up and I keep the microphone away from me so people can hear me when I talk.
Okay.
For recording, I turn my gain down a little bit, but then I need to be like right up in this microphone, like kind of like put my whole mouth on the microphone, right?
You got to be right up on them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, all right, now hang on. This isn't going to work.
This is good. This is the best podcast ever.
This is great radio. Hold on. I just want to get this. I can't remember. Oh my God, I'm going to have a heart attack. Just why can't I bend this microphone? Like, am I an idiot? I feel like I'm an idiot.
I really feel that if I ever get my microphone boom arm to be like in the perfect position, I'll finally be happy. So,
well,
I get it.
Yeah, but like I usually can just like kind of put this like right in front of my face, and for some reason tonight it's just not working. How's that? Is that better? Can you hear me okay?
You sound great. Of course,
right.
I'm getting the Skype end of it, but
Well, yeah, okay.
You're fine.
Yeah, I mean, I'm recording. I'm recording.
You're fine. Yeah, as long as you're recording, it's good.
But like, this thing is like obstructing. No, this isn't going to work. I can't. My workspace must be just so, and if it isn't, it's not gonna. Hang on. We're almost there. I promise. We're gonna record a podcast one of these days. All right, here. Now.
No.
Nope. Too much spring. Now, okay. Now it's over my head. Okay, I feel like we should just cancel. This isn't gonna work.
This is it. We're done.
We're done. Podcast over. Hold on. I'm doing something wrong. There's a piece of this that I'm not. Okay. So now, it's in the right orientation, except it needs to be upside down. So what do I do?
I've heard that before.
Well, I haven't. How do I? Like, okay, so something's loose. Somehow this became loose. Hang on.
You gotta tighten
twist?
You gotta tighten it.
Well, gee, thanks, Dad. I just gotta twist this. Something is wrong. Something is wrong with this. Something is wrong. What if I tilt? See, like I want. Okay, that might work. Oh, like I'm having like a conniption fit because like the last 2 weeks we recorded, this like went in the perfect shape, and now it's like not in the perfect shape, and I don't understand what I did wrong. I didn't change anything. Like this boom arm should just work. Hi. Okay. I have to change the dock.
Okay.
We got a late breaking news.
Okay.
I'm gonna take this off.
Okay.
And the extermination thereof. Okay.
All right.
Okay. You provided good content this week. And,
not really.
This is episode 69. Nice. So we've got some things to get into here. I'm gonna let you start.
This one's especially vague, and in the doc it's just called
wait.
The Mystery of September 15th, 2020. Okay, so this last Monday I logged into Libsyn, which is the site that we use to kind of host our podcast. Great site, by the way. It's really reliable. Good stuff. Anywho, I usually don't look at the stats because I don't do this podcast for you. I do it for me. and but I accidentally clicked on the stats button, and I was like, you know what? No, I'm like, you know what? While I'm here, I might as well just scroll around, and one of the things on the page is it kind of gives you a little line graph of downloads per day, right? And like usually when we release an episode, we hit about 50 downloads, and then it kind of trails off. But there was this one day, September 15th, 2020, and we had 122 downloads that day, which is a lot for us, a lot.
Yeah, I mean, normally, like, we have 7 listeners, and they probably, downloaded on 8 devices each.
Yep. So I saw that. I'm like, that's weird. I didn't think anything of it, but it kind of just like nagged at my brain for like hours. And eventually I'm like, okay, you know what? I got to figure out what happened on that day. Can I see what episodes were downloaded on that day? And on September 15th, 2020, every single episode that we had, all the way back to number 1, was downloaded at least one time. And you know what I think it was?
What was it?
John motherfucking Kruger.
Oh, that John Kruger.
Because I think his tweets, I did some research, and I think he tweeted to us on September 16th.
Well, good for him. He's getting the entire back catalog.
Yeah,
right?
he got the whole back catalog.
Good for him. I hope he enjoys it.
Yes.
All right. So how are we doing though? You said we get about 50. We get about 50 downloads.
About 60. Yeah, I think each episode's we have roughly 60 listeners, I believe. Kind of just looking at dividing at the stats. We have a lot of people that are, like a month or two behind, but all of our episodes get about 60 listens on average. So, and total, we've had 4,105 downloads. So,
unique downloads.
Yes.
Across all episodes.
And if you do the math, I think, hold on, divided by 68. Yeah, it's 60 listeners. 60.
All right. Well, if you're one of our 60 listeners, first of all, thank you very much. We do this. We don't do this for you. We do it for us.
Yes.
All right. So September 15th, big day for podcasting. I think today is like National Podcasters Day.
Yeah, International Podcast Day, if that's a real thing. I don't know. Maybe it was yesterday.
I saw it
like
on
a fake holiday. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was. I mean, but like, I feel like we should celebrate.
Yeah, we absolutely should. September 30th is International Podcast Day, according to the internet. They have a website, internationalpodcastday.com.
Okay. International.
That's going in the show notes.
International Podcast Day website link goes here. Okay. Yeah. Well, okay. So indulge me. What's the website? Is it International Podcast Day?
Yeah, internationalpodcastday.com.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, it's a celebration of podcasts, an international celebration of podcasts.
The celebration is a great opportunity to connect with fellow podcasters, podcast listeners, podcast enthusiasts. All right.
This feels like a way to get money.
Yeah, I smell a scam in here. And leaders, so it's like, is this like the who's who of podcasting? Like, we buy one of these books?
Maybe.
I got caught up in that scam.
Did you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they had some sort of conference, apparently.
We should go.
I wasn't invited. Yeah, I think it's over. Maybe next
we have
year.
363 days, 21 hours, and 41 minutes till we can do it again.
There you go.
Promotional material. Audio promo. Ooh, wait a second.
Ooh.
Oh, my God. You're going to have to put that as a bumper in the show. It's so obnoxious.
The audio?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. Yep, you're right. That's going in. Hold on. I'm going to download that right now.
International Podcast Day is September 30th, and you can help spread the word. You may be asking, what can I do to get involved? It's pretty simple. Head over to internationalpodcastday.com and check the suggestions. Then use hashtag International Podcast Day to join the conversation. You can reach out and connect with other podcasters, listeners, and your favorite podcast hosts. Remember September 30th, International Podcast Day, a day-long celebration of the power of podcasts.
Proud to be a podcaster. Look at all these things. Look at all these things we can steal. Oh, there's speakers.
Oh.
All right. All right.
Should we focus? Should we start the show?
This podcast is such a shit show. Like 60 listeners. Why do you listen to us? Like we're such a mess. All right, tell me about Sandman. You said you read some more.
Yeah, I read some more. I'm into the second volume, like on part 2 of Dollhouse. It continues to be really, really good. I'm still enjoying the writing and the art style. I had a minor spoiler coming up for Sandman comics. I had no idea it was kind of set in the greater DC comic universe.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Finish your thought, and then I want to ask you some questions.
Well, so, I mean, it kind of just references superheroes, and there's one villain that kind of makes an extended appearance. Yeah, I mean, I found that part to be kind of unnecessary, but I mean, I guess it was a DC brand when it came out, and that's what DC does.
Well, which villain was it?
Dr. Destiny?
Was he the guy with the gem?
Yes.
Oh. See, okay. So I never knew that, right? I just thought it was some guy that happened to be in Arkham that had Sandman's gem or whatever, right? I didn't realize that was a guy.
Yeah, he's like a B-lister at best.
Okay.
I kind of actually, I've only tangentially knew of him. Then I had to go do some research to see what kind of stuff he was in. Yeah, I think there was a extended like Justice Society of America comic where he essentially trapped everybody in a dream world. And turns out that was, Morpheus's gem. Spoiler for Sandman.
Right. Okay, well, it's not that big of a spoiler. You kind of find that out relatively early in the comic that he's on a hero's journey to retrieve some items.
Yes.
But here's my question for you. What did you think of that section? You said you felt it was unnecessary. Did you feel it was unnecessary to have him as the character that perpetrated that particular chapter, or did you find that whole chapter unnecessary?
Just the fact that they tried to pull him in and make it part of the DC universe. I thought the storyline was really great.
Yeah. It was pretty intense.
Yeah, it was. That whole part from him getting his bag of sand and his helmet in the gym. That part was just so well done, I thought.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm really enjoying them so far. I'm hoping to get through a few more issues this weekend, and maybe catch up to you. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I finished volume 4, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and well, I feel like maybe 3 or 4. I got to go upstairs and check. My gaming table, since we're not allowed to like see other human beings, is turned into my comic book holding table.
Okay.
And they're all upstairs on that. I gotta go look. I want to say I made it through 4 or 5. I want to say 4. Because like when I went to the comic book store, they didn't have 5. But I think I'm going to take a ride to the comic book store tomorrow after I'm done working out, and I'll see if I can get it. Yeah, I really like that comic book. And I still want to keep reading the Court of Owls thing for Batman. It's been a couple weeks since I read some comics just because I don't know. I just haven't been in a reading mood.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been reading a lot of documentation and spending a lot of time on the phone and reading emails. And like my eye, like maybe I'm getting old, but like my eyes just get tired reading all day sometimes.
Yeah, that's.
And I don't know if that's a function of having like a 5K display. Like I don't have anything turned down super small or anything. It's just I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you're still looking at a big giant light all day.
That's true.
And yeah, it gets a little old.
It can't be good for you, right?
I mean, nothing's good for you. Except, kale. I guess kale's good for you.
Kale's awful. I go back and forth on that.
Yeah. If it's killing your joy, is it really good for you? I don't know.
Yeah.
To quote friend of the show, I mean, probably not, but Cory King, my buddy's built for a good time, not a long time.
Oh, I really hope he's friend of the show. Cory King's one of my favorite people. Since we're talking about people that we like, we really should talk about Cory King because he is one of the most delightful humans.
Yeah.
He's just like, I don't throw around the term gregarious very often, but he strikes me as a guy who's gregarious. I don't think I've ever seen him have a bad day.
No.
And if he has, he usually keeps it internal.
Yep. He's also a fellow metalhead and goes to a lot of shows with me, and he's one of the guys that I go on my metal themed vacations he goes, and yeah, he's a great dude. I love him a bunch.
Yeah, he's very funny.
Absolutely.
Like sometimes like subtle funny. Like he'll just you'll get drawn into a conversation and he'll just drop something casually, and he knows it's funny.
Yep.
And he's the kind of guy that doesn't have to laugh at his own jokes.
Nope.
I appreciate those people.
Yeah.
I tend to laugh at my own jokes.
Because I laugh at my own jokes because I'm freaking hilarious.
Well, I mean, I would like to think that I am. Well, at least my mom says so. All right. Yeah. So Sandman. Okay, I'm glad that you're starting to get caught up there.
Yep.
I'm still very much enjoying it, and I'm going to read some more of it when I can like get off my butt and go buy some more comics. I really want to support the comic book store, like the Laughing Ogre. They're just super chill there.
It's a good store. And
it's a pretty good store.
That's the one that's right in front of the soldiery, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's literally in front of the soldiery. They're in the same building.
The same building.
It's like,
yep.
Yeah, it's like the soldiery is kind of in the back, and
the soldiery has been around forever.
Has it been around longer than the guard tower?
I think so. I remember going to the soldiery when I was like in college at OSU, something like 95, 96. So, I mean, maybe they're around the same time, but like, I mean, it was a wildly different store then because mostly they just sold like, magic cards and tabletop RPGs. There wasn't a whole lot of, the board game industry wasn't this beautiful bastion of innovation that it is now.
Well, make no mistake. Like I was in there. I had been in there before, like when I was first starting to get into board games and just sort of exploring what was in the greater Columbus area. But going in there probably a month ago, there's only a corner of the store that's for board games.
That is true.
And that store is laid out really weird because there's an upstairs, I guess.
Yes. For like some of the really nerdy like miniature games.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like what's that one game that's like, was it Chaos Ball or something where like it's a tabletop game about soccer with magic? I don't know.
Blood Bowl.
No, well, no, that one, no. But there's another one.
The other one. Yeah.
There's another one.
It's
not in the Warhammer universe.
And pro tip, don't go to that store on the weekends. Well, I tried to go to that store once on the weekend, and they were doing some sort of event. And imagine that small of a store full of people sitting at tables in every possible corner.
Well, there's not.
Yeah. You just can't. You can't look at things. You can't get in.
Yeah. Probably smells like gross dudes.
Yeah, and like, I mean, no offense to people in this hobby, but we tend to be on the bigger side. So you have a lot of big dudes sitting at folding chairs.
I'll still never forget the time you and I went to Origins and peed together. And it has still smelled better in the bathroom than it did on most of the floors.
Yeah, you get a lot of nerds together and it gets a little stanky.
Yeah, well, and see, that's why I like Beyond the Board and the Guard Tower, because there is a wide, big open space. More so, there's a whole room at the Guard Tower. Like, you kind of walk in the back, and they have folding tables, and it's kind of like you go in there, you sit down, you play your game. All right, first come, first serve. You don't need a reservation, I don't think. No, you don't. And like Beyond the Board, kind of the same thing, except it's all in the same room, except for the back room, and the back room is like really small.
Yeah, the Guard Tower is nice because they have that big room in the back for everything. I played many games of Armada there, and it's nice for that. But I'm like, and I think the Guard Tower probably has a little bit more like retail space, some more games. But like, one thing I like about
I don't think they have more board games. Okay. But they definitely have more space, like Warhammer, D&D.
Yeah, you're right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. One thing I love about Beyond the Board is like how well lit it is.
Well, yeah.
Which is something it's so trivial, but like when you're primarily looking at something or playing a game, like Beyond the Board's lighting is so good, and that's why I keep coming back to that store. it's silly, but yeah.
Well, listen, good lighting has never done most of the people in our hobbies any favors. let's just get that out there.
That's true.
There are, just like everything else, this hobby has good-looking people and not so good-looking people, and I count myself in the latter category for numerous reasons. But yeah, it's an interesting. I don't know. It's just a different store, different speed.
Yes.
I don't necessarily think of the guard tower as the family friendly location.
I would 100% agree with that. Yeah, guard tower is far more nerdy. Yeah,
Not that it's like it's not like, you know, like a porno theater, right?
It doesn't feel like an adult bookstore. Yeah,
right. It does. Yeah, exactly. It doesn't feel like you're walking into an adult bookstore, but at the same time, like, I probably wouldn't eat in there. Like, I don't know, like, if that makes any sense.
It does. I've been there. It absolutely does.
And plus, like, there's cats in there.
Yes, they have
those cats will fuck you up. Like, don't ever try to pet the cats in the guard tower. Like,
okay, so I have a different experience. Usually, when I'm in the guard tower, the cats come up to me for scritches.
Oh. Well, from what I understand, there's been several cats that have lived there over the years.
Yes.
And, like, there was, like, one cat in particular that they say never touch. I guess maybe one of them's okay. I've seen, like, 3 in there at one time. But, like, there's one that'll just mess you up. Because it'll just absolutely mess you up. Okay. You've got one more topic, and then I've got a couple things that I want to talk about. So what's this White's Elixir?
Yeah, so I'm a distinguished gentleman, and I like myself a cocktail from now and again. And one of my favorite cocktails in the world is an old-fashioned. Old-fashioned is basically like whiskey and stuff that tastes really good. I don't know. It's like there's some sugar in there and some citrus, and one of the core ingredients is bitters.
Yep.
And bitters are really, really strong, and done correctly, taste wonderful. But when done incorrectly, can ruin everything. Ruin your whole day, your week, your drink. Just too much bitters is bad. And I can't make myself an old-fashioned to save my life. I have what I like to call bitters anxiety. When I get that bottle in my hand starts shaking. I either put too much in or not enough, and it's just bad. So I've always been on this quest to find some sort of mix that I can make old fashions at home that really capture the magic of a good old fashioned at a bar. And I believe I have found it. So there's this company called White's Elixirs.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor. And all they do is they make pre-made cocktail mixes. And this brand was recommended to me, and I finally bought some. I bought 3 bottles of the White's Elixir Old Fashioned Mix. And I am here to say, if you like old fashions and you don't want to make them yourself, it's a little on the pricey side, but it's really good. Yeah.
All right. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm gonna dive in here. So you put the link in the show notes, and I'm clicking through it, and pricey's being a little kind.
I mean,
okay.
You can,
Okay, hold on. Let's put this in perspective. So I'm on the page for the old fashioned, and you're spoiled for choice here. You can either get the 3-pack, which are 3 8-ounce bottles, which I assume probably makes 1 drink.
No, you only use, it's basically 1 part mixed to 3 parts bourbon. So depending on the size of your drink, you're only really using an ounce at a time. So a bottle is probably going to last you 8 drinks.
Oh.
Depending on your, how,
habit.
Yeah, exactly. Your habit, or how big your glasses are, are you using the jigger or the pony, like all those kinds of things. I use words there.
Yeah. I don't understand any of those words.
But a 3 bottle pack, so 3 8-ounce bottles is $30. So they are $10 a bottle, which is, it's about $1 a cocktail. But
it's cheaper than drinking out.
Oh, absolutely. It's bring your own bourbon, right?
Yeah.
It is phenomenal.
And you could probably put some really good bourbon in there. Like you don't have to use the mid shelf stuff, right? Like you could,
or it's with the bitters. I don't think you really need a great bourbon. Like a moderate bourbon is fine. Like you don't want to put like Jim Beam in there, but like you don't have to put $100 bottle of bourbon in there because the bitters are a very strong flavor.
I too enjoy an old fashioned.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a brown liquor guy in the fall months, and I am a kind of a white liquor guy in the summer. So the old fashioned, like I'll have an old fashioned. Like now that the weather's turned, I will start probably having old fashions at dinner on Saturday.
Yeah.
But I'm looking through the mixes. And it looks like we can do old-fashioned mint juleps, which I've never had a mint julep. The simple syrup, which I'm assuming you could use for anything.
Yeah, anything. Yep.
Moscow Mule, spicy margarita.
Yes.
Sour mix, margarita mix, mojitos, and Cosmos. I think I would probably try the mint julep because I've never had it, and I think I would also probably get the mojito mix. I like a mojito.
Yeah, I am more inclined to try some more of these since the old fashioned it's so good.
Okay, yeah. So you can build your own 8-ounce like kind of sample pack here.
You sure can.
So it looks like you have to do 6 though. Yeah, please add at least that kind of stinks.
I think that they have a store on Amazon where you can get some different options than what they have on their website. I'll put a link to that in the show notes.
Have you tried drinking these without the alcohol?
Why would I do that?
Well, I just curious, like what that experience would be like.
I mean, it smells
because
terrific.
This is pure sugar. Like it's like let's not dance around it. It's pure sugar.
Yeah, I mean the ingredients are. Hold on, I had this open and then I moved away. Water, pure cane sugar, orange zest, 2 different types of bitters. Orange extract. Wait, no, that's part of the bitters. Or 2 different types of bitters. Orange oil, gelatin, gentian root, whatever the heck that is, and citric acid. Right. So it's basically water, sugar, bitters, and citrus, which is the ingredients of an old fashioned. Like they nailed it right there, right? It's usually it's made with simple syrup, bitters, and then some sort of either sometimes cherry juice or like orange juice, typically garnished with like an orange peel. So like the ingredients are spot on, right? There's nothing in there that you wouldn't expect. It tastes really good. It's really good.
Well, you've sold me. I guess it's just a question of like where do I want to order this from? You saw Amazon also sells these.
Yes, they do.
Okay, so White's Elixirs.
They have a White's Elixir store on Amazon. I will put that in the show notes with their big do the thing, right?
So if I go to this link,
so they have some different options. You can get like.
Oh, look at that. Okay. So I could do a 2, like, I don't drink at home. Like, I only drink out.
No.
Okay, but they don't have, it doesn't look like they have the combo that I want.
No.
They don't have what Daddy needs.
You can get sour mix, old fashioned, and a mint julep. But you can't get
I do like a Moscow Mule, but I drank a lot of Moscow Mules over the summer. I don't know if I necessarily want to do that. So that could get 3 mojito mixes, the mint julep, Moscow Mule, margarita mix, and then the sour. Man, why'd I got to do this?
Because they want you to buy more. That's why. Capitalism.
White's Elixir Mojito 3-pack. That's the same price. So, yeah, I think I would do the 4. See, I don't want to do the. And, like, you can't. Hold on a second. You can't buy. Can I just buy 1? You could buy. No, you have to buy a 3-pack, right?
You have to buy a 3-pack. Yeah, that's what I bought. Is I bought the least amount possible because I didn't know if I would like it, which was 3 bottles of old fashioned mix.
Do they sell this anywhere? Do they sell it in a physical store anywhere?
They might. Who knows? Where to buy White's Elixirs?
Wholesale. So apparently in Tennessee. Other options for nationwide. Yeah, apparently if I want to drive to Tennessee.
I mean. There's worse places to go.
Contact Brad White. Brad at White's Elixirs.
Just say,
Brad,
hey, Brad, can I
Brad.
buy one?
Brad, I just want to buy one. So get out of here, kid. All right. Okay, good find. I'm probably gonna order some of those. How fast did it take to get? How fast did you get it?
Amazon sent it in 2 days.
So I couldn't get it before Saturday. Is what I'm hearing.
I mean, maybe before Saturday evening.
Okay, hang on. All right, we're not done with this stupid bit yet. Where did that page go? Okay, let's just say I wanted to do this. Okay, so $34. Proceed to checkout. When could I get it?
The shipping windows for me was way I got them way before it said I would.
Yeah, well, it's telling me Wednesday, October 7th. That's not going to work.
Yeah, I got mine in 2 days. So, and mine had a week, 2 weeks out. And it came super fast. So
we live in an era where we cannot accurately predict this.
That's true. It came so fast that I was not prepared. I had not gotten to the store to get more bourbon, so I had to go do that. So it was a surprise. Oh, there they are.
Well, it bodes well for me that speed impresses you. Let's what we got here? Fresh margaritas. I don't know. I really want to try this, but I'm so impulsive that I want it now. All right,
I have to wait a little bit. That's okay. Good things come to those who.
Oh boy! Speaking of that, okay. All right, let's talk about me for a little bit. My favorite subject. Mm-hmm. Okay, I think I may have mentioned on this podcast that I was considering buying a new car.
You did, yes,
I did, and I haven't yet. I haven't.
You haven't?
I have not. So,
but is there a but?
There's a but. Now let me be emphatic here. I'm exceptionally blessed in the fact that I can afford new cars. Not everybody can. Not everybody will. This isn't meant to be a flex situation. This is, like all things on this show, an opportunity for me to complain. So I'm going to complain right now. I'm going to complain about a good problem. So I have it in my head that I pay way too much money in my car payment every month. Now, Paul, I don't know what you pay for a car payment every month for your car. But with the Mercedes that I drive, I pay close to, not over, but very close to $600 a month for my car payment.
That is more than I pay, yes.
Yeah, it's considerable. But then again, I have a really nice car. It is not only a nice, well-built Mercedes-Benz, it's also a really, really sporty and fast and fun-to-drive car. It's the whole reason I bought it. But as I've gotten... even just a few years older, because I've only had this Mercedes for 3 years. Even in the 3 years that I've had it, I sort of look at that and I think that is a luxury that I don't necessarily need because I don't drive anywhere anymore.
Turns out.
And I looked at that and I said, that nearly $600 could be much better well spent on either just straight up saving it or putting it towards a bigger house payment. Because if it's one thing I don't like about where I live right now, it's my house is just really small. I wish I had one more bedroom because my office is also my living room, although technically I think it's a den now because I don't have it's more of a den than a living room because it's got my office, my standing desk, and that's where I sit all day. It's where I also watch TV when I'm upstairs. It's where I have my board game table. So it's just, I don't have a very big house. Now, I don't have a very big mortgage payment either, but I don't have a very big house, and I live in Dublin. So, the wife and I have talked a lot about getting a slightly bigger place. And given what my monthly budget is right now, I could comfortably afford a slightly bigger house still in Dublin. Okay. But we would want to get something, relatively nice, not obnoxiously huge for the two of us, because we don't have kids. The only reason I would really want a bigger house is, like I said, for an office or if my parents were in town, just having more places for them to sleep. Because we only have the one spare bedroom. So if they're both here, they're divorced, so they don't sleep in the same bed anymore. And I don't want somebody sleeping on a couch. Anyway.
That makes sense, yeah.
So, I've sort of been doing that math in my head for the last 6 or so months. And I'm just how could I get there? Other than having to save up a little bit of money for a down payment, what would it take to get there? And part of that equation is I really want to spend less, if anything, on a car payment. And I first sort of adopted the position of, I have a fair amount of equity in the Mercedes because I put a lot of money down on it when I bought it, and I've been paying on it for 3 years, and I've got a considerable amount of equity in it. So I thought about just outright selling the car, right? Because we just bought my wife a new Subaru not too long ago, and listen, like, other than driving to the gym, I don't really go anywhere. Without my wife, that is. So, like, if we needed to go to dinner or go to the store or, drive to safety when society continues to collapse around us.
You can get by with one car for the time.
We can get by with one car if we had to. That's what I'm saying. So, like, just not having a car payment at all would be good. But I think I'm still going to need one. Because when we start getting back to the point where we're allowed to start going places again, I think having a car is going to be critical. And, I started looking around for cars that I would want to own. And I started looking at used cars. The used car market is really hot right now. It's kind of hard to get a good used car. And I started looking at newer cars. Just to cut to the chase, we're in that weird period of time here in the U.S. where like most car manufacturers are getting ready to debut their 2021 model years. So we're in that weird flux of dealers are trying to unload 2020s and 2021s are coming. They're willing to make pretty good deals on the 2020s. And I went looking for a particular brand of car.
Okay.
Not a Tesla.
And that brand is?
I'm not going to say yet.
Okay. All right. You're going to make me wait.
Yeah. I looked at model inventory everywhere in the state of Ohio and the surrounding states, by the way. That's how far away I looked. To get a car that I would want wasn't going to be possible. Okay. And I gave a certain dealership $500 as a deposit, and I ordered a car. Like, I ordered a car, and I did this with the Mercedes too, right? It was a Mercedes that I had built to pretty much spec, and this car is the same thing. It is not nearly as much as the Mercedes. It is still a luxury car brand. Mm-hmm. It is currently on a boat, and I've been able to track the progress of my car as it has been built.
Oh, fancy.
Yeah, and it's been a pretty interesting experience because, like, I'm like, as the build has progressed, I've been able to sort of like see what options have made it into the car, like the assembly line process. There's actually YouTube videos of it, and if I put links, people are gonna know what I bought. And I'm not ready to say yet because I want to do a review when it gets here. And
okay.
I might have it next weekend. The reason I say that and the reason I wanted to bring this up is the car has been built. The car is on a boat. So it was shipped from where it was built, and it is currently on its way to a port near me. Okay. The boat in question is making 3 ports of call in the U.S. It's unclear to me which port my car will be unloaded on, although of the 3 ports, I think it's probably going to be Baltimore, which is where it is going after it docks at this port it's going to now.
Okay, so East Coast.
East Coast. Okay. And it will be unloaded there and then trucked to the dealer. I bought it. Well, I'm going to be buying it potentially, right? Because I haven't signed any papers yet. Let's put it that way.
Okay, so you're not committed.
I'm not.
Are you?
I don't know what's going to happen.
$500, right?
I don't know what's going to happen to that $500 if I get to the dealership and we can't work out a deal.
Got it.
But see, this dealer's been really good to work with because they worked with me really hard to try to find me a car that was already built that had the things that I wanted and we couldn't, and that's why we went the custom build route. So they've been really good to work with so far. And so they sort of have earned my business, and like we worked out some pricing, right? And it's very favorable to the point where I could either have a very, very small car payment or no car payment. Like I could actually just pay cash for a car, which would be, like I said, would be pretty interesting. I don't think I've ever been in a position where I could do that before, but here we are. But anyway, the car will be unloaded at the port, clear customs, and then It will arrive at the dealership, kind of like made ready for everyday use. Like they need to take the transit oil out of it and put like real oil in it and detail it and program it and like whatever they need to do to it. And then I will pick it up potentially once we work through everything, and then that'll be that. But anyway, the reason I bring this up is it's been really interesting to sort of track this as it goes. And if you remember when we launched the House project, we were able to basically track the balloon in real time, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, so you can do that with boats using kind of the same technology.
Really? Neat.
Yeah, so like here, I'm gonna put a link in the chat here, and you can kind of see that where the boat that supposedly has my my car where it is right now, and it's currently on its way to a particular port. And if you do like show live on the map, you can see where it's at. And it's currently rounding the coast of Florida.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
It's a big boat.
Big boat, full of vehicles. It previously stopped somewhere in Texas, near Houston, and now it is in the Atlantic Ocean. It is no longer in the Gulf of Mexico. It is in the Atlantic Ocean, and it is heading for its next port, which is just north of Jacksonville, a little port called Brunswick. So, like, what I don't know is it going to get unloaded there or Baltimore? Now, you would think that Baltimore makes the most sense, or does it? Yeah, it does, because Maryland's way closer to Ohio than...
It does, but you don't know how many different manufacturers are on this boat. And does your manufacturer have the ground logistics to deal with it? And it could be coming... Yeah. So who knows? But yeah, Baltimore makes sense. This is a pretty cool little website.
It's interesting. The mobile experience sucks. I think they want you to download their app.
Well, I don't like it that much. I'm not going to be watching boats all day.
Yeah, it's a cool website though.
That is kind of neat. Yeah.
Anyway, so my car is on a boat. It probably will not be here in time for the next recording, but for episode 71, I might have a car review episode. But we'll see.
I can't wait.
Yeah. So that's topic number one, and that's like happy topic. So let's talk about a way crappier topic.
Okay.
There's mice in my house.
Oh no.
Yeah, there's mice in my house. They're leaving little mice turds everywhere.
Oh no.
It's really gross.
That's unfortunate.
Okay. Paul, is it fair to say that I'm an animal lover?
Absolutely.
Okay, I want these goddamn mice out of my house, and I don't care what it's going to take.
Fair enough. I completely understand that. Yeah.
And why do I say mice? Okay, so here's what I know. We pay for a pest control service here because we don't like. Well, I say we. My lady friend and we don't like spiders. Okay.
I have the same relationship with spiders.
Okay. So they come to our house every other month. They spray the foundation. They spray some of the cracks in the basement, and like we don't have spiders anymore. Which it's just. I mean, we still have spiders, right? You can't not have spiders, but we don't have like the spiders that cause us angst.
And it's that time of year.
Air quotes.
Yeah, things are getting colder, and those various creatures are trying to find warmer places full of food. So like, I don't know, a week ago, I was waking up and my lady friend to me, she says to me, hey, I think we have a mouse. And I said, well, okay, this is the court of public opinion. What evidence do you bring to this trial? And she said, well, I thought these were coffee grounds on the floor, but they were little mouse turds. And I am a city boy. I grew up near a downtown area, and I went to school in the city. I'm a city boy. Okay, like I had to deal with rats, in alleyways and stuff, but like I never had to deal with like mice living in a place that I paid for. So I take her word for it, and I call our exterminator service, and I said, help, send somebody immediately. I don't like this. SOS. Yep. Yeah.
So the nice gentleman who normally treats our house wasn't available, so there was a guy that showed up, and he said, "Yep, those are mice turds." And he goes, well, what do you want to do about it? And I go, well, you're the expert, right? And he's like, here's what I can do for you. He kind of poked around my house a little bit, and he sort of discovered where he thinks it came in at. So we had our air conditioner replaced a year ago, and the lines that come in from the house had some, like, I don't know, some kind of insulation material there. Apparently some of that, like, went away.
Oh.
Yeah, so there was like a hole in my siding that he probably got in through. Or she, right? I'm not trying to be gender normative. And he plugged that up with like some steel wool, which apparently mice hate. So now now I'm not trapped in here with the mouse. The mouse is trapped in here with me. All right. So yeah. Okay. So I said, well, what are we going to do about this, right? And he said, well, here's what I can do for you. He goes, I found some more droppings under your kitchen sink. So it's probably walking around your pipes or something. And I was like, okay, I don't know any better. He's like, here's what I can do. He goes, I can put these bait traps down, and what they're going to do is they're going to eat this, and you're going to know they're going to eat it because their poop's going to turn blue. And I said, okay. And he said, then they're going to die. And I thought to myself at the time, I thought, so they're going to die. That's good.
But where are they going to die?
But where are they going to die? And I didn't get a clear answer on that. So he put the bait trap under the sink, and sure enough, the next morning there was blue poop on our floor. Right, the poop didn't go away; the poop turned blue. So this rodent ate the bad stuff and is dying or is dead somewhere in my house. Nothing stinks yet, but interestingly enough, the blue poop stopped. Okay, like there was like a couple days of no blue poop, and now we're back to regular poop. Oh no! Which means one of two things: I have a dead mouse and another live mouse,
right? Or you have some sort of like super mouse,
or I have a mouse that is immune to this and is now probably really cross with me. Yeah, and so they're coming back tomorrow, and I'm gonna like maybe press them a little bit, like, hey, where do you think this dead mouse is? So I don't have to like carve up my house trying to find where the smell's coming from, right?
Oh,
yeah, I'm not looking forward to this, Paul. And like, what if it's babies?
It could be.
What if
it's
babies?
Probably not. It's fall. It's probably not babies, but
listen, like, just because I don't fuck all year round doesn't mean that the mice don't, right? Like, what do you mean? Like, it's not fall?
I don't know. I thought they had. I thought like most woodland creatures, their childbirth is very seasonal, but I could be wrong about that. Yeah. So now, when I was younger, I worked at a grocery store, and I worked in the produce department, and our produce department also had like the bulk food, right? So we're responsible for filling the bulk food and dealing with all of that, which meant we had lots of, seeds and nuts and candy, in addition to all the other fruits and vegetables we had. And the worst part of the job was cleaning the glue traps.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that yeah. And I remember very clearly when my manager first explained me that part of the job, and he's like, "Well, you see, Paul, you just take the broom and you turn it, and you whap them, so they die, and then you just throw them in the garbage."
Well, I think in my head, what I sort of envisioned was like when he said bait trap at first, I thought it was going to be one of those things where like it goes in there and it like gets stuck.
It's a cage. Yeah.
Yeah. Or worst case, it like does that thing where like it hits them at high speed and like breaks their back or their neck or whatever. Yeah. And like, you gently lift the carcass up and dispose of it. But no, this eats the thing and then goes away. Somewhere. It goes away until it doesn't go away. And yeah, I don't know what to do about this.
I kind of like the visual of some sort of super mouse who had like a really rough day and a half.
Yeah.
Somehow pulled through, ate this poison, felt like crap, pulled through, and is now like planning your demise.
Yeah. Well, and here's the interesting thing. We're not super sure what it's eating. We think it's eating the dog food, right? Because
okay.
we've been picking Rocky's dish up. And like, you know, you've seen my house. So like we have the kitchen and then the pantry, and like our pantry door has a slot under it that I'm sure it could get under. But like we're not finding holes in like the bags of food on the floor or anything. So I'm a little curious, or this is another mouse that got into my house through some area that I'm unaware of, right? Like maybe he's coming through the foundation or something, or I mean, who knows? But anyway, I'm gonna get some more answers tomorrow. Like I said, I'm having them come back out to take a look at it tomorrow because I just want it dealt with. Because like the thought of like, because here's the other thing too, like mice poop, but they also pee.
Yeah, where's that going? Mm-hmm.
I know exactly. It's going on the floor is where it's going. Like, what do you mean? Where's it going?
Yeah, but what parts? Is it what parts of the floors? Is it the stuff behind the baseboards that you can't get to?
Yeah, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. So I've been like in between conference calls, like scrubbing my floor every day. Like, it's just like, yeah, it's not. It's just not a whole great bunch of situational things happening here, and you know, part of me feels really bad. Like I don't want these mice to die. I just don't want them to be here anymore.
Yeah. I never had a mouse. I had a snake briefly. Well, very briefly. It was right when we first moved into our very first house, and we're actually like literally bringing boxes in, and there was a little snake in our basement, just kind of going around, you know, slithering between boxes. And I was like, okay, you know, I got some gloves. It's not that big. I'll get some leather gloves on. I'll trap it. I'll get it. I'll throw it out. And as soon as I thought that, at the time we had, I think we had a cat. May have been a kitten still at that age. I just remember like the cat was like, ooh, snake, boom, murdered snake, holding snake in her mouth, showing it off like a trophy. It was just like, it took seconds to hunt this snake. I would have spent hours chasing it. I know how that would have worked. And it had a dead snake in her mouth. Yeah. Like, well, that solves that problem.
Well, the other thing too is like my dog was bred to deal with vermin, and he couldn't care. He couldn't care less about any of this, right? He just looks at us like, huh?
That's not my job.
Yeah. I mean, he goes, I'm old. I'm retired.
You're thinking of some other dog.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm sure I'll have more updates next show, but it's been an interesting few days here at my house. That's for sure.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right.
Let's put a bow on this one.
Yeah, let's do that.
Oh, as always, you can find us on the internet at Doing Best Pod. You can reach me. Well, that's on Twitter. Yeah, the internet is Twitter. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
At Doing Best Pod. You can reach me on Twitter at Paul Baylor. That's BAHLER. And where can we find you, Drew?
Yeah, I'm over on Twitter at Pittsburgh, PITTFURG.
Awesome. Thanks for listening.
See you, everybody.